Welcome to the Take Action Now Summit. You will discover groundbreaking strategies for personal and business growth with leading experts and innovators. Today, transform forward. Step into 2024 with confidence. Strengthen your network, build relationships, and develop awareness and skills. Join our 21 world-class speakers and experience inspiration, hope for your future, and an elevation of your ambitions. Inspired Choices Network, our summit hosts, are excited to have you here.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Wren Tolo. I am an RN. I'm a transformational life coach, and I am a soul connector. As a critical care nurse, I thought that I was thriving in chaos. I loved throwing on my Superwoman cape and helping others because it helped me feel needed. I had a very tight grip of control, like many of us do. And I thought I knew what life was supposed to be like. And I thought that I knew what health and wellness looked like and what we needed to be healthy and well. Well, then life happened, and I got knocked off my picture-perfect pedestal. When my second son was born, he had a massive neonatal stroke. And I remember waking up in the hospital to all the babies crying around me. And just my son was about 30 miles away at a hospital in Boston. And I thought, this is not the way it's supposed to be. And then a couple years later, the same day I found out I was having my fourth boy, I found out my third son had high-risk acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So despite all of my trying to do and my tight grip of control and my trying to show up and be everything for everyone, my life was turned completely upside down. And you know what? The stress of trying to keep it all together, trying to do everything for everyone and be everything for everyone at the expense of myself, that led to my own health decline and my heading towards burnout. I remember one day reading to my children, and all of a sudden my speech dropped. My tongue went numb. My arm went numb. And my husband called, and I couldn't come up with words. And he said, "Jen, you have to call 911. And you know what I said? I don't have time to call 911. Who's going to watch the kids? So lo and behold, I did go to the hospital, drove myself, not a good idea. But I discovered that I was having chronic migraines. And I also had chronic stomach issues, irritable bowel syndrome. And all of this was due to the worry, the fear, the trying to control things in my life that was completely out of control. And this was stress. Did you know that stress actually is about 85% the root cause of most illnesses, or 85% the root cause of most illnesses? Yes. So what I learned was, as a superwoman, many of us, I really needed a reset. I needed to reconnect to who I was. I needed to put myself on the map and take care of myself. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be around to take care of my kids. I knew that I needed to start to pause and reset so I could start to reclaim my time, my energy, and my life. How many of you have felt that way? I discovered the importance of giving myself permission to pause, because I was so busy doing, I never gave myself permission to do that. I felt guilty about doing that. But when I gave myself permission to pause, then I was able to cultivate this calm inside of me. And when I cultivated that calm, I was then able to connect with who I am and what I needed and what it was that I actually had control over and what it was that I really didn't have control over. And then I learned that when I was able to do that, I was able to make the most soul-aligned, purposeful, and impactful choices. I stopped looking to others to tell me what I needed to do and how I needed to be and what I should be doing. And I started to trust myself to have those answers. And I started to trust my inner wisdom to guide me to make decisions. I learned to start letting go of that tight grip of perfection and the tight grip of control that I had, and to stop focusing on the outcomes and focusing on pleasing others at the expense of myself. This is how I started to transform from a spread thin superwoman heading towards burnout to a empowered, soul-aligned, purposeful, present Superwoman. So I'm going to share with you in this talk my key strategies to help you begin to cultivate more calm and connection in your life so you can start shifting from surviving to thriving. You see, in this fast-paced world, us strong, independent, high-achieving women that so many of us strive to be, we're all looking to try to be enough and prove that we're enough. And we're trying to achieve success in all the different aspects of our lives. But what we don't realize is we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves. And society often has unrealistic expectations of what we strong, independent, high-achieving women are really capable of doing. And then this mindset of independence and self-sufficiency, this badge of being strong and independent that many of us wear, makes us really hard for us to ask others to help us, to delegate, or to allow others to support us. You see, we Superwomen, we are very strong and capable, but how many of you would actually like to not have to be all the time? Let's be honest. There are times that we are so exhausted and we just want to say no when people are asking us to do things and be things, but we don't. Why is that? Many of my clients say that it's because we don't want to be perceived as needy or incapable, or we don't want to miss out on an opportunity. A lot of my clients say that they have such a tight grip of control on things that it's really hard for them to let go. They don't know how to let go. Or a lot of people say they don't trust people to do things right and do things the way that we would do things. That's that perfection. We need things done a certain way. So which one is it for you? First, we need to start to change these expectations. And we need to start to debunk this myth of the Superwoman, the successful Superwoman, that society loves to push on us. We need to accept that as high-achieving women trying to juggle families, career, personal life, we can't do this effortlessly. It comes with a price. We need to have the awareness of what our habits are, what our thoughts and our patterns are, that so many of us really cling to. And these are the things that actually drain us of our time and energy. We need to understand the why behind our choices and our actions and our habits. This is one of the key first steps to reclaiming our power and our connection to our life. You see, these societal expectations for women is to excel in every aspect of our life. But this is what leads to exhaustion and burnout for so many of us, not to mention a lack of contentment and connection in our life. But many of us feel like we don't know any other way. Has any of you seen the movie, the Barbie movie? I was reluctant to watch it, but I finally did. And at the end, America Ferrera gives this monologue, and she talks about the dual expectations of women. We're supposed to be thin, but not too thin. We're supposed to be confident, but not too confident that we intimidate others. We're supposed to be independent, but not too independent to make others feel less than. But we don't want to be too needy. Well, this is what so often creates that confusion and that feeling that no matter what we do, it's never enough or we're not enough. This is that belief system that drives so many of us to exhaustion and to disconnect and to discontentment in our life. So what we really need to do is start to dispel this myth of the Superwoman and to start to acknowledge that asking others for help is not a sign of weakness. That's something I had to learn. It was very hard for me to ask people to help me or allow others to help me. But when I started to realize that when others helped me, it actually helped me show up stronger. It was actually a wise decision for me to let others help me, because then I was more able to be present in my life and show up for the things that truly mattered. And I love helping others. It makes me feel connected to others. So what I was robbing others of is that ability to build connection and to build that sense of community that we get when we rely on each other and support each other. That's what we all crave and long for. So when we delegate, we can start to connect with what it is that's important to us, what it is that we really need. And we can start to let go of perfection. We can start to let go of pleasing other people and having to be the one to do it all. Because let's face it, again, this is what exhausts us. It's like a chicken with our head cut off. And when we learn to let go of that stuff and allow others to help us, all of a sudden we have more time and energy, and we're more able to show up fully present in our life for the things that truly matter. So we have to recognize that we can't have it all and be it all for every aspect of our life 100% of the time. There's always a price to pay when we do that. And for many superwomen, that price is our own health and our own happiness. So when we start to prioritize everyone and everything above ourselves, why do we wonder why we're so exhausted or why we have trouble focusing? Because when we're multitasking and trying to juggle all these balls in the air, some of these balls are bound to drop. You know what? We have to remember that we are human beings, not human doings. It's time for us to allow ourselves to pause, reset, and start to connect with who we are and what we want and what we truly need to thrive in our lives. Imagine your body is a car, your mind is an engine, and your soul is the check engine light that lets us know that we need some attention. Well, how many of you drive around not even noticing the check engine lights on because you're so distracted and trying to keep up with where you want to go and those outcomes far ahead? Or how many of you drive around, you see that there's a check engine light on, but you don't have time. You're too busy to pull over and deal with that engine light and figure out what's going on. Now, do you still wonder why you're exhausted and maybe feeling a little disconnected from your life? Sometimes we're so focused on where we're going that we forget to appreciate and enjoy where we are in the moment or how far we've come. So what are the signs that your check engine light is on? What are those soul signs that let you know that you need a little attention? See how many of these you have. Trouble sleeping, fatigue, brain fog, extreme labile emotions, reactivity, anxiety, overwhelm, depression, low energy or motivation, difficulty focusing, decreased productivity and efficiency. You know, when we're multitasking and we make mistakes and then we have to repeat what we did because we weren't really paying attention or couldn't focus. This is all signs of burnout. Do you know what burnout is? According to the World Health Organization, burnout is defined as an increased mental distance from one's job or life, feelings of energy depletion, and negativism. According to research from Future Forum in 2023, women were shown to experience burnout more frequently than men, and burnout was at an all-time high. So another key to success and well-being is to reconnect to your why. The why behind your choices, the why behind your passion and your purpose. When you learn to pause, reset, and connect with who you are and what you want and what you need to feel purposeful and fulfilled and happy, you can start to reignite that spark inside of you, that light that fuels your work, that fuels your priorities and makes the priorities clear, and that also fuels your choices that you make every day. Maya Angelou spoke of what success was, and she said, success is liking myself, liking what you do, liking how you do it. So you get to decide where your energy and your time go and where your priorities are based on what's happening in your life. Your choice is your superpower. You can't do and be everything to everyone. It's not possible, at least not without paying a pretty steep price. There will be days where you have energy and time to give to others, but then there are going to be days where you are running on fumes and you don't have anything left to give. Those are the days that you need to start saying no to everyone else so you can say yes to yourself and replenish that energy. Think of energy and time as like you get $100 per day. And how are you going to budget that $100 per day of time and energy? Problem is many of us choose to spend it on everything and we overspend. We work from a deficit, from a negative number, because we keep spending our time and energy when we don't have anything to give, and we don't take the time to replenish that time and energy. So how do you replenish your time and energy? How do you push the reset button? Well, here are a couple ways. First, prioritize self-care. I can see some of you rolling your eyes. Prioritizing self-care means carving out time, putting yourself on the to-do list and making that a priority for the day. Deep self-awareness, cultivating that deep self-awareness to understand who and what drains your energy and who and what refuels or replenishes that energy. By learning to set healthy boundaries. That's a tough one for many of us. By being discerning of who and what you give your time and energy to, and who and what you start saying no to. See, one of the key aspects that I learned as a critical care nurse and as a mom of 4 boys navigating through all of life's challenges was that I am not in control of anything or anyone except myself and my thoughts, my actions, and my choices in the present moment. That is where my greatest power lies, are my choices in the present moment. Out of necessity, I had to learn to practice the art of letting go and learning to kind of go with the flow. Now, I'm not perfect at this because I am a type A overachiever, but I have started to let go more, and I have started to not attach to outcomes and go with the flow a little bit more. And I got to tell you, that is how I started to reconnect with myself. I started to find my inner strength and my resiliency. As a nurse, I was always taught that the key to life, or the essence of assessing life, the foundations, are your ABCs: airway, breathing, circulation. Well, now, as a transformational life coach, I've created my own ABCs. And these are the ABCs for stress management and finding calm in the chaos. And I'd love to share them with you. A is awareness. Being aware of what the things are that are throwing you out of balance, what the habits are, the behaviors are, the patterns are that are actually creating stress in your life, those hidden stressors. That's really key, because you cannot change anything unless you have an awareness of what needs to change. And once you start to recognize what those triggers are and what those things that are throwing you in that spin or that stress spin are, then you can move on to B. The B is balancing your nervous system and your mind. And you do this from breathing, from deep, purposeful breaths. When you take slow, deep breaths, you can start to reset that fight or flight, and you can elicit the relaxation response. It takes about 2 minutes of deep breathing to elicit this relaxation response. And then when you do that, you can start to notice the sensations in your body, the tension in your body. You can start to notice the thoughts, and you can start to purposely, with your breath, start to relax and release some of that. And that is how you're going to start to bring your body and your mind back in balance. And once you do that, then you can move on to the C. C is connection. Once you're calm, then you're able to connect with, what is it that I actually have control over in this moment? And what are the choices that I need to make based on what I need in the moment? This is where you really start to connect to your life and make the most empowered, purposeful decisions for you. So your greatest superpower is your ability to find calm amidst the chaos of life. It's your ability to make choices in the present moment. That is where your power lies. So when you tap into this ability, you're going to find deeper connection with yourself, with the people around you, with your work, and with the choices that you make. So then you're going to be able to enjoy a greater sense of accomplishment and success as a human being, as well as connection and purpose in your life. So it's interesting because when I look at my life and I look at the successes in my life, it's not my books, it's not my public speaking, it's not my radio shows or my podcasts or all the amazing clients that I've helped create transformation. I don't see these as my greatest successes because they aren't my main top priority. My greatest success and my priority is my own health and my happiness and the health and happiness of my children. That is my greatest success because it's my top priority. So another success is my ability to overcome all of the challenges that life threw my way. And there have been a lot. And through those challenges, I was able to cultivate a calm, deep sense of calm inside of myself and a deep connection to myself. And with that, I was able to get a deeper perspective on my life. I was able to grow and develop because of these challenges. When I had the courage to reevaluate my expectations and I put myself, the expectations that I put on myself as the fixer, as the person in control, I had to remove that Superwoman mask, the one that says, I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Then I was able to finally show up authentically and imperfectly me. And I was able to accept that, you know what? That's enough. So I ask you, what expectations do you put on yourself? Are you aware of the masks that you might wear? What are you most proud of in your life? Where are you or do you want to be the most successful? I encourage you to write this down, maybe journal this, because this is where you start to really develop that self-awareness. So let's recap. Here are the key strategies that I feel are the most important things to start to cultivate calm and connection in your life. So you can start to go from surviving to thriving, and you can start to reclaim your power over your own life. Number one, allow others to help support you. You can't do it all alone. Allowing others to support you make you stronger and more efficient, not weak and incapable. And it builds a much needed connection and community with people around us. That's what we all need. Number two, implement my ABCs so you can start to manage the stressors of your life and stop that stress spin. And so you can start to find those moments of calm and connection within you anytime and anywhere. And that's where you're going to make the most empowered and aligned decisions for yourself. Give yourself permission to pause. These mindful moments are like bite-sized snacks. It takes 2 minutes. Just take some deep breaths, or maybe go outside and turn your face up to the sun and feel the heat of the sun on your face. And then be aware of the things that rob you of time, energy, and power, like unrealistic expectations, chasing perfection, pleasing others, or not having healthy boundaries. So when you give yourself permission to stop all the frenzied doing and take a few breaths and give yourself some space to connect with what you need and why behind your choices, and you begin to tune into the things that bring you joy, that light you up and excite you, you can start to feel more purposeful and connected in your life and more present in your life. This is being in the flow. This is reclaiming your time, your energy, and your power over your own life. After all, you are responsible for your own health and happiness. You get to choose, and your choice is your superpower. You get to choose where you focus your time, energy, and attention. When you are calm and connected with your life, this is where the most empowered and aligned choices are made. You have all you need inside of you to thrive. Now that's pretty powerful. Don't you think it's time that you start to take back and reclaim your life? You have all the power inside of you to do that. I'm really excited that I got to share this talk with you because it's powerful.
Thank you for joining this inspirational talk on the Take Action Now Summit. Inspired Choices Network and our expert speakers are excited to connect with you and learn about your desires to evolve and grow in 2024. If you'd like to learn more about everything Inspired Choices Network offers, including future summits, please email us at info@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.